Okay guys, back again. So we had a look at what was included in the kit. Brilliant. What wasn't included, which I did mention, is that bad boy. Purchased from Amazon. It's a power converter. You will not be able to do anything without it, unless, and you know, this is where the guys that make this supply you with some form of confirmation that you can use 240 volts. In this case, you can't. So we got the converter from Amazon. They gave us a link. I think it was £95. So we bought that. That's plugged in. It switches on via what looks like an RCD, residual current detector or something other. A fuse basically. A trip switch, whatever you want to call it. So hopefully, if anything goes Pete Tong, that will go flick and it will switch everything off. That is then plugged into the supplied power supply. So where is it? There we go. Goes into the back. You've got an emergency stop button there, so hit it, boom, everything should switch off, twist, and it'll come up. You have a key start as well. Don't get that, but I suppose from a safety point of view, if you've got people that you don't want touching this because you know it's not exactly cheap, then you can have it as a key activation. Fine, happy days. That is all plugged into the back. You got to tip it over to actually plug everything in at the back. There's a power supply, which yeah, it's a socket type. You've got the USB cable. You cannot misplace it. And then the switch is also at the back. I'm not going to show you that. It's borderline idiot proof. You've got two cables at the top. That's right. iPhone and talking. Two sets of cables. Make sure that they are in the correct place. This one is for your end stops, right? So, and it does actually say limit switches or end stops or whatever you want to call them. So, and then this one is hopefully zoom in. There we go. Quick change head. Now, Makita is this is how you set it. It's not controlled by any software, so you don't need this. So make sure it's out of the way and tucked away somewhere safe. If you're going to use a print head or the laser, you'll need the quick change head, but we're not going to use that just yet. It's just a quick have a look through. Now I'm not going to go over installing software. It is relatively straightforward. There is a bit where you get one link and it takes you to a Dropbox. Forget about that. You don't need to register one. Go to the next link that comes along. I believe that was for the laser. Oh, damn it! Never mind. It's either for the laser or for the Boxzy interface, which is what you see here. You also got Arduino software that's going on. Nothing to say what it's for. I'm assuming it's just background stuff because at this present moment it's not featured in any action apart from installing it. So it could have drivers in there, it could have all sorts. Now I had a slight hiccup when it came to getting this all connected. It's green, it's connected, right? It didn't start off with, but it does say, go to config, go to print settings, and then make sure that is there. Auto detect, apply, okay, boom, smash, go, okay, there we go, and that should be okay. So I'm just going to switch it on. So I'm going to switch this on first. Now you might get a little knock, I shat myself because it went boom as it came to life. It didn't blow up, it just came to life. And on. Now there's two sets of fans that are going because this one is already switched on. It does say you can have this switched on all the time. There's no need to switch this off and then this off, but you can turn around and say good practice, but no. Right, so initially this is CNC reference now, so because there's end stops everywhere, so there's one there, there's one there, there's one there, there's another one there, so that's pretty much in X and Y directions both ways. Sometimes you only get it in the one way, like that machine, so you can hammer it into the side, which is a bit annoying. And then you have one for the Z down there and then one for the Z up there. Winner. Right, so yeah, Paul. Right, so yeah, so you can home the X-axis, see, and do the same with the Y. Boom. But I'm not going to do the Z, mainly because I will crash into the tool bit itself. Alright, so what you see is house, house, house. I think that's home all. If you've got a tool bit in there, then don't home your Z axis. It will collide with the bed. Oakley dokley. Now you can see it's 0, 0, and then the Z is offset by 36. Now the situation is with CNC, when you use your Fusion 360, you're going to set the triad or the nomad, and that will be your 0, 0, 0 reference, and that's something you've got to set up on your machine as well. Now that's one thing that they don't explain in full, so what I'm going to do is just going to quickly go through that. I'm going to move that over 50. Get it done 100, and then I'm going to move the Y 50, 60. There we go. Right, so it's sitting there. So let's pretend that. Oh, hold on. Let's just lower it a bit. Something to say. You can see if you go in the upper part of the arrow, 0.01. 1, 1, sorry, 0, 1, 1, 10, and here 50, 10, 1, 0, 1. Alright, so be careful where you press here as well. Okay, basically it will move by that amount of millimeters. Right, okay, actually let's be a bit more realistic on the X. There we go. And yeah, there we go. So in this situation, you know, it is off the table. Why? Well, when you're seeing something, there'll be a block here, a block of aluminium, a block of wood, a block of something. So your triad or nomad for the coordinate system that you program on Fusion will be in, let's say, the top upper corner of your stock. So let's say it's about 10, just under 10 mil thick, and that's where the corner is. And let's pretend that the block sits there, right? I haven't got any stock yet, so you'll see that later. And let's say that is now sitting dead center on that corner. So now we're going to say that is my 0 point. The reason for this is your G code that you're going to generate will use the 000 reference for all its moves. So from that point it will do all its cuts. So you need to set that. So if you do a G92 space X0, so what you're saying is in the X-axis that position that I've put it in now is 0. Enter. Followed by G92 space Y0. Enter. And then last but not least, G92 space Z0. Boom. So now I've created a reference to where my 000 reference is for CNC cutting should be there. Right, okay. Let's try and prove that. It's always good to prove it. So I'm just going to offset everything. Okay, so it's now in a totally different place. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it a command, and if you want to learn about G-code, please do. However, let Fusion generate your tool paths rather than trying to program it by hand. Some guys can do it, but they've got some skill. I won't. Okay, so G1 is a move command, space, and then I'll do X0, press enter. Right, so that's there. Now let's see what happens. There we go, it moved. Same again, G1, this time Y0. There we go, it moved. And then G1 space Z0. And there we go. So that should be now at my 000 reference so that I can do CNC cutting. Now, I will do some CNC cutting at some point once I've got my new laptop and I can actually put one of my parts through Fusion. However, just a quick one. So the Makita has a speed regulator there. We'll have to have a check. There's six settings, so you know you can go all the way up to 6. If you press, or if you switch it on, there we go. The Makita itself, long cable, long cable, long cable, is plugged into your power supply. Yay! So it's quite straightforward. That's a quick check on the CNC lock the side of life, and I will expand on that when it comes to actual cutting. So you know I will show you that, see how it actually cuts. If you've got any questions or anything like that, I'm by no means an expert. I'm a beginner on CNC, but I'm a 3D printer. I would say demigod, but some people would call me that. But no, not me. I'm good at it. I print loads of stuff. There's one of my cabs. There's an excavator cab. Boom. You know, I print all sorts, and I like to think that I'm pretty damn good at it. I use Simplify 3D quite expertly, in my opinion, but you know, pretty much guarantee there are better out there. But you know, I can answer most questions, so ask away. So if there's anything with Boxzy you want to know, I can endeavour to answer it, but don't, you know, I can't make any promises on that. If you want to know about 3D printing, Ultimaker 2 Plus is what I use, or Simplify 3D. Please just chuck it on the comments or somewhere where I can find it, and I will endeavour to answer that for you. Okay, well, it's another quick intro. Hopefully it's been informative, and we'll go from there. Bye.